No hate to women, but how do y'all be falling for weaponized incompetence? I could never.
How do you know if your man's incompetence is weaponized or unintentional incompetence? Well, I'll tell you. Say you ask your boyfriend or husband to go to the store and he comes back with wrong or missing items. If he says something along the lines of, "I'm just a terrible shopper, I've always been that way, you know what, you should just do this from now on because if I keep doing it, I'm gonna mess it up," then yes, he is in fact weaponizing his incompetence. However, if he continues to go grocery shopping in hopes that he'll get better and he's actually showing improvement, then that's less so weaponized incompetence and more so your partner trying to develop skills they may not have developed earlier in order to improve the quality of your relationship. And I think it's important to know the difference so that you know whether or not you're getting played, just like my mutual had discussed in her video.
Every once in a while, I like to give my wife a break, so I'll take the baby from her, and about 10 to 15 minutes, I'll walk in the room and say, "Where's the baby?"
Are you fucking kidding me?
When you do this, you constantly erode the trust that your partner has in you. I'm not trying to target this guy specifically, but we've all seen the videos, right? Mom finally fights past her guilt and shame and goes out and does something for herself, comes home to chaos. Dad's on here making jokes about how they can't go to the grocery store without a visual list. Yes, I know there's nuance with ADHD. That's not what these jokes are about, though. Shows, movies. That one TikToker on here who blocked me who has the hotline for incompetent dads. Yes, we all know it's supposed to be a joke. It's not that serious. It is that serious. There's no excuse for weaponizing your incompetence. This sort of behavior is intentionally causing doubt. That video of the dad who's unloading the car comes in and the kid is on the table, asking for a detailed list or having your partner make the dinner so that they can go out and have an evening with their friends. Setting up all of the pins so you can knock them down and do it clumsily so that they don't feel encouraged to do it again. When you do things that cause doubt, you're breaking your partner's trust. Weaponized incompetence causes doubt, it causes anxiety, and it takes time and energy from the trusted default parent. When you say, "Okay, I'm gonna book the family's health appointments," and then you ask a bunch of questions, or you forget, or you don't put it on the joint calendar, or you don't look up how frequently your family needs to go to the doctor. When you say you're gonna take on a task and you don't do it in good faith, when you don't ask what parts of something need to be done, when you don't get the information that you need to be successful, and then follow through, you create doubt and anxiety. And sometimes you create such a kerfuffle that your partner is not going to ask you to do it again. And these jokes like this guy knows what he's doing. Not every case of weaponized incompetence is intentional, but some of it is. This behavior in cis-het relationships often causes women to sacrifice themselves, their sense of self, their career opportunities. It is insidious as hell. You think it's cute and funny, but it's stealing from your partner.
Today we're making a flower bouquet and talking about weaponized incompetence. But I want to talk about weaponized incompetence today because I've been guilty of this and it's something I'm still working on. First of all, what is weaponized incompetence? Weaponized incompetence, also called strategic incompetence, is when someone knowingly or unknowingly demonstrates an inability to perform or master certain tasks, thereby leading others to take on more work. For example, if the kitchen towels are supposed to be folded or put here neatly, to use it and then put it to the side, that's weaponized incompetence. And I know it's easier for me to be selfish or to only think of myself in certain situations, and I think in a relationship, I have to think of the other person, and if they've clearly talked about having their kitchen towels a certain way, leaving your shoes at the door when you walk in, these are things that I can listen to. Because I also think that when your partner walks in and sees a kitchen towel that's out, that they have to put up, they're going to look at you in a different way. And you don't want that to consistently build up over time because I think that builds resentment. And this idea of weaponized incompetence isn't the end of the road. I think it's just an opportunity to learn and grow. Because again, my goal is to make my partner's life easier. I don't want to add anything to her plate. So those are my thoughts on weaponized incompetence, and here's my Lego bouquet. My grandma also taught me something else about flowers. What's your advice for people who want to make their own arrangements?
Have a focal point.
And that's what this is, the focal point, the center.
I just found out about weaponized incompetence and it is blowing my mind. All right. So weaponized incompetence is when one pretends to be bad at a common household chore like doing the dishes for example, in order to cause their partner to be so frustrated by that incompetence that their partner takes over dish-doing responsibilities. And look, I'll be the first to admit, living in a world where you never have to do the dishes sounds like a veritable wonderland, all right? That sounds like heaven on earth. That's where I want to be. But the trade-off is that you have to walk around every single day of your life knowing in your heart of hearts that your partner, the person that you ostensibly love, genuinely believes that you are too dumb to figure out the dishwashing process. The dishes, all right, barring illness, disability, or infirmity, literally everyone on the planet can do dishes. A child can do the dishes. You could train a medium-sized dog or a seal to do the dishes. And you're going to sit there and you're going to pretend like that you just don't get it? Couldn't be me. Could not be me. 'Tis I? Nay, assuredly not. I would be embarrassed. The shame of that would echo across my every waking moment. I would rather be tossed out of a window, sent down to Hades, and eternally cursed with having to do an infinite number of dishes every single day, like some sort of sudsy Sisyphus, than to even have a stranger mildly suspect that I was too dumb to know how to do the dishes. How do you not just walk around believing that your partner is going to leave you for someone better, when the bar for someone better is understands the dishwashing process? Not to mention, the only reason you're getting away with weaponized incompetence is because your partner already secretly believes that you're dumb. There's no other way that you can get away with it. Like if I were to sit in front of a sink with a Scrub Me Down Daddy and a bottle of Dawn and be like, what do I do next? I'm not getting this. Somebody explain this to me. No one would believe me. They would look me in the eye and they would be like, Andrew, we believe that you've got this. You have the IQ greater than a sea cucumber and the spatial awareness of an everyday 11-month-old. We think that you can figure this out. You know what I mean? If I pretended like I was bad at doing the dishes and someone sat me down and even in a kindly Mr. Rogers tone of voice said, Andrew, you know what? Doing the dishes isn't for everyone. I would be offended by that. I would be mortally wounded by that. I would be doing the dishes every single day out of vengeance, out of spite. I would be scrubbing down those pots, muttering to myself, this bitch thinks I'm too dumb to figure out dishes. All right? If somebody ever tried to use weaponized incompetence against me, I would mention it in every single conversation. All right? And I'm not talking about everyday incompetence. People make mistakes. I'm talking about trying to pretend like they're too dumb to do the dishes. All right? And I'm not nagging here. I'm bullying. All right, I would introduce them that way. I'd be like, boss, this is my husband. He's a grown man with a full-time job, too dumb to figure out dishes. He's a medical anomaly. We are in talks with doctors about it.
7 days since I cleaned my kitchen. In fact, it's been that long since I stepped foot in it. My son and I got COVID while my husband somehow managed to avoid it. So we isolated on the top floor. The kitchen is so much worse than I could have imagined.
All right, hi, my name is Black Belt Babe. I am a mom and a wife to a partner who is a equal partner and equal parent. So I've compiled a list. So you might be a married single mom all right. So if you're responsible for the majority of your child's care and your husband has no clue what to do, married single mom. If your husband has no clue what size your kids wear and how to appropriately dress them for the season, like I oftentimes see people who post their husbands dressing their kids in summer gear in the winter and thinking it's cute and funny, like, ha ha ha, look what he did. No. Married single mom. He should know how to dress those kids. Number 3, you have to leave your husband with a detailed list of instructions just to get away for 1 hour. Number 4, you get sick and your entire household goes down the drain, so he didn't do dishes for 7 days. And then the next one, your husband cannot take them out in public by himself. And then the next one is you're responsible for the majority of researching and implementing necessities for your kids. So this could be anything from age-appropriate toys to the foods that they can eat, any of that. And this list is not limited. Weaponized incompetence is not cute, and I think we need to get out of the framework of men don't know what they're supposed to do when it comes to parenting. We're both first-time parents. You and your husband are both first-time parents. So if you didn't come rolling out of your mama's coochie knowing what to do as a parent, and he didn't either, how did you learn? You read a book. You talked to somebody. You went on Google. I bet if your husband's interested in football and a parlay, he would go and Google how to do a parlay. You can Google how to help take care of your house. You can watch a video on how to wash dishes and how to care for your sick wife. But instead, they don't do that. So then women are stuck in a cycle of being a married single mom where you essentially have the kids that you carried for 40 weeks and your useless husband. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine having a husband that is completely and utterly useless, bro. And it's not cute. It's not funny. This is no shame to the original creator either, because I actually felt bad for her. Like, you were sick. After battling COVID, you then had to come back after COVID and then go and do 7 days worth of chores because your husband ain't worth a good goddamn? Oh, heck. We would have to fight at that point. Talking about knocking his head between the washer and the dryer. Stand up, girl. You deserve way better. There are equal partners out there that are willing to learn. If my husband don't know how to do something, he's going to Google it. Plain and simple. And your husband should do the same. Shame on him. Shame on him.
Just wondering why men are like this. That's literally fettuccine in a vase. As if we don't have Tupperware.
The first time I ever went viral on social media was for telling a story of when I was a teenager and my mom asked me to wash the dishes. And I told my little brother that I had a secret plan. I was going to do it really badly so that she would never ask me again. And what I was doing then, what this woman's husband is surely doing in that video, is weaponizing incompetence. A form of passive-aggressive behavior where an individual deliberately performs tasks poorly or pretends to be incapable of completing certain tasks. This manipulation tactic is often used to avoid responsibility, forcing others to take over and perform the task instead. While it is missing from the definition that I just showed you, it is absolutely a gendered behavior too. Not even necessarily a behavior that we are explicitly taught. I grew up in a household in the 1980s and 90s that I think most people would think was remarkably gender equitable. And still, somehow, some way, I learned that this is the sort of strategy that I could try to use against my mom. I don't think it ever would have occurred to me to try and use it against my dad. That is just how culturally and socially pervasive misogyny is. How pervasive weaponized incompetence is as a means of strategically navigating and reproducing it. But it is 2024, and it's been 70 years since the second phase of feminism began. Weaponized incompetence is a discussion topic that has been all over this platform for 3+ years now. Guys, cut that shit out.
Are you ready for the counseling word of the day? Weaponized incompetence. So what exactly is it? It's when somebody purposely does something poorly, so then they won't have to do it. Like in a relationship, maybe somebody pretends to not be good with finances. Anytime money comes up, they're like, I just don't know. I can't do it. I'm not good with money, causing the other person in the relationship to constantly be the financial figure. The individuals that tend to use weaponized incompetence, well, they're attention seekers, or they have learned helplessness. Maybe they're passive aggressive or have fear of failure. And you guessed it, not only do we see this in relationships, but we often see this in the workplace. There you have it, weaponized incompetence.
Weaponized incompetence can be so dangerous because it can easily come off as innocence. Here's some examples so you know what to watch out for. I'm not really good with dishes and all that kitchen stuff. I feel like that's more your territory. I know it's our anniversary, but gifts and being romantic's just not my thing. Aren't flowers enough for you? I'm not great with picking a place to eat. Why don't you choose? The internet these days, I have no idea how to order Spider-Man tickets online. You're the tech-savvy person, maybe you should do it.